Hello everyone. Today I would like to show you a video I did 8 months ago forcing ChatGPT to do George Carlin comedy. I will put links in the description of the full conversation between me and ChatGPT. How I did it. I used ChatGPT 3.0 version at the time and 3.5 version and asked if he knew George Carlin and if it could generate a similar routine. And by using positive reinforcement, hey ChatGPT, I really like it, can you give me some more? That's basically what I did. I managed to scrap about 15 minutes of comedy. From there, I copy pasted the different beats in a way that makes sense because the bot was switching topics constantly. The only thing I will not show is how I created the voice, for obvious reasons. Hopefully, this video will not be taken down. Please note that all content in this video is fictional and should not be interpreted as real events or statements. Everything you're about to see was created using AI tools only.
You ever notice how every couple of years society decides we've been doing it all wrong? Yeah, every decade or so we look back and say, hey, remember when we thought it was okay to just call someone without texting first? Barbarians, we were. And now we've got these smart gadgets, right? Smartphones, smart watches, smart homes. But somehow it feels like all this smart tech is making us a little dumber. I mean, we've got devices in our pockets capable of accessing the entirety of human knowledge, and we use them to argue with strangers and look at pictures of cats. Not that there's anything wrong with cats, mind you, but you get what I'm saying. And have you noticed how we've got more ways to communicate than ever before? Texting, email, social media, video calls. And yet people seem to have a harder time understanding each other. We've got emojis to make sure people know we're joking. Back in my day, we had to use words. And if you were really good, say timing. Then there's the whole debate about privacy. Everybody's worried about the government or corporations spying on us through our devices. But then we go and post every little detail of our lives online. Here's what I had for breakfast. Just got a pedicure. Look, my baby sneezed. We're like, don't you dare spy on me, but please like and subscribe. And don't get me started with the gig economy, where everyone's an independent contractor, nobody's got benefits, and we all pretend it's empowering. Be your own boss, they say. Yeah, because having one boss wasn't enough. Now you can have hundreds, each one more clueless than the last. You're not delivering food. You're cultivating culinary logistics, not driving a taxi. You're enhancing urban mobility. We've got fancy titles and zero job security. Progress. It's the dream, isn't it? Flexible hours, they say. Work anytime, anywhere. Which somehow always translates to working all the time, everywhere. Your office is your car, your living room, or that coffee shop with the really slow Wi-Fi. And benefits? Please. The only sick leave is when your car breaks down, and the only vacation is when your app crashes. But hey, at least there's variety. One day you're a graphic designer, the next you're walking dogs. It's like being back in college, but instead of choosing a major, you're choosing which gig app to open today. And the hustle, you're not just working, you're grinding, because nothing says I'm living my best life like grinding away at 3 side hustles just to afford rent on an apartment the size of a postage stamp. Then there's self-care. Self-care. The art of spending money to feel like you're not falling apart. In the old days, taking care of yourself meant getting enough sleep and not eating garbage. Now it's a whole industry. Candles that cost more than a therapy session, bath bombs that promise to detoxify your entire existence, and journals that somehow make you a worse person. Take time for yourself, they say. And by that, they mean take time to meticulously document your self-care routine on social media. Because if you didn't post a picture of your legs in a bubble bath, did you even relax? It's not about feeling better. It's about looking like you feel better. Self-care is the answer to everything. Feeling down? Self-care. Stressed about work? Self-care. Society crumbling around you? You guessed it, self-care. It's the perfect solution, utterly individualistic, and completely ignores the root causes of our collective anxieties. Why address systemic issues when you can just buy a weighted blanket and call it a day? Together, the gig economy and the self-care movement encapsulate the modern paradox. We hustle until we're broken and then use the pieces to build a facade of wellness. We're simultaneously the most empowered and the most exhausted generation, freelancing our way through life while Googling, is crying in your car considered self-care? Relationships in the digital age. We've gone from love letters to swiping right. From asking someone out in person to sending a "you up" text at 2 a.m. We've digitized romance, folks, because why risk actual human interaction when you can judge someone's suitability as a life partner by their ability to take a good selfie? Dating apps, what a concept. It's like ordering a pizza. I'll take a tall, dark, and handsome with a side of emotional stability, please. Oh. And can you make sure they're not living with their ex? Thanks. We scroll through profiles like we're shopping for humans on Amazon. This one looks good, but the shipping time is a nightmare. Next. And the profiles? Everyone's trying to sell the best version of themselves. Pictures from 5 years and 20 pounds ago. Bios that say love's adventure, which apparently means going to the bar 2 blocks away instead of the one next door. Then there's the whole ghosting phenomenon. People disappearing without a trace. In the old days, if you wanted to avoid someone, you had to change your phone number or move to another town. Now you just stop replying to messages. Poof, gone. It's like a magic trick. For my next act, I will make my sense of responsibility disappear. And let's not forget the paradox of choice. With thousands of potential matches just a swipe away, why settle for one? It's like being a kid in a candy store, except every piece of candy can talk and has its own set of emotional baggage. I'll try this one. No, wait, this one looks sweeter. Oh, but this one might be more fulfilling. And at the end of the day, you leave the store with nothing but a stomach ache and a deep sense of existential dread. But the best part, we do all of this in the name of finding a connection. We're looking for that spark, that undeniable chemistry through a screen. It's like trying to smell a flower through a gas mask. Sure, it might protect you from the toxins, but you're also missing out on the essence. So there you have it, folks. Relationships and dating in the 21st century. We've managed to turn the most human of experiences into a transaction, complete with customer reviews and a return policy. This partner malfunctioned after 2 dates. I'd like a refund, please. Romance, ain't it grand? Hollywood can't come up with new ideas anymore. Every movie is a reboot, a sequel, or a prequel. Coming this summer, the prequel to the reboot of the sequel of the thing you didn't know needed a prequel. It's like we're stuck in a loop, watching the same stories over and over. Remember this from your childhood? Well, we ruined it. And we flock to the theaters hoping they don't screw it up, but deep down knowing they will. And don't get me started on the expanded universes. Everything's got to be a saga now, with Easter egg spin-offs and crossovers. You didn't just watch a movie, you experienced a piece of the puzzle, DM. To get the full story, make sure to watch these other 12 movies in this specific order or risk being culturally irrelevant. In the end, the obsession with reboots and sequels isn't just a testament to our nostalgia. It's a mirror to our collective fear of moving forward, of embracing new stories. Because as much as we complain, there's comfort in the familiar, in knowing exactly what you're going to get, even if it's just a shadow of the original. Why risk something new when we can bask in the warm, mediocre glow of something we've seen 1,000 times before? And let's talk about politics, shall we? We've turned the democratic process into a reality TV show where the loudest, most outrageous candidate wins. It's like we're living in a never-ending episode of Survivor, except instead of voting people off the island, we're voting them into the highest office in the land. No wonder half the country's looking to emigrate to Mars. But hey, at least we got streaming services to distract us from the impending collapse of civilization, right? Nothing like binge-watching Tiger King for the 5th time to make you forget about your mounting existential dread. Who needs therapy when you got Netflix? And then there's the quest for internet fame. Everybody's looking for their shot at viral glory. Watch me chug this gallon of milk and then ride a scooter into a wall. Congratulations, you're now famous for being an idiot. It's a strange world where talent is optional, but shamelessness is mandatory. It's like the gold rush, but instead of gold, it's likes, shares, and retweets. And just like the gold rush, most will come up empty-handed, but with considerably less dignity. Remember when Uncle Jim went viral for sneezing while playing the banjo? He's been chasing that high ever since. We're teaching kids that the path to success is paved with internet points. Forget hard work or talent. Just find the most dangerous, stupid thing you can do on camera, and you're set. The weirder, the better. Can you juggle flaming chainsaws while riding a unicycle? No? Well, can you at least fall down in a funny way? The quest for internet fame is the modern equivalent of selling your soul to the devil. Except you're not guaranteed fame, just a perpetual feeling of inadequacy. Look at me, doing something worth forgetting in 2 weeks. But hey, as long as it gets views, who cares if it's meaningful, right? Suddenly, everyone's gluten-free. 20 years ago, nobody even knew what gluten was. Now it's like the body's kryptonite. Is there gluten in this water? We've survived millennia on bread, and suddenly it's the enemy. Next, we'll find out air has calories. Breathe responsibly, folks. You've got to love the gluten-free craze. It's as if half the population suddenly developed an allergy to something humanity's been eating since we figured out wheat wasn't just for making bricks. Can't eat this. It's got gluten. Gluten, the new dietary boogeyman lurking in your sandwiches, waiting to upset your stomach, or at least make you think it will. And it's not just food. Gluten-free shampoo, gluten-free makeup, gluten-free dog food. Because, I was really worried about my shampoo sandwich messing with my diet. And the dogs, can't forget them. Fido's been looking a little bloated. Must be the gluten in his kibble. Definitely not the fact that he eats his own weight in table scraps. This whole trend has people scrutinizing labels like they're defusing a bomb. Does this have gluten? It's water. Yeah, but is it gluten-free? It's making hypochondriacs of us all. And the best part, the prices. Stick a gluten-free label on anything, and suddenly it's worth its weight in gold. That'll be $15 for the gluten-free water, sir. It's a tax on the word well. Now, I would like to close with some new terms. Minimalism. This is the art of paying more for less. Simplify your life, they say, as they sell you a single chair for the price of a sofa set. It's the trend that convinces you that owning less somehow makes you more. More what, you ask? More broke, mostly, since that minimalist wallet costs more than the cash you're supposed to keep in it. Influencers. Now, there's a term that gets thrown around like a frisbee at a beach party. These are the folks who convince you to buy things you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't like. They're the modern-day Pied Pipers, except instead of leading rats out of town, they're leading us into debt with a trail of discount codes for 10% off. Virtual reality, the ultimate escape. Why deal with the complexities of the real world when you can strap a screen to your face and pretend you're somewhere else? Experience nature from the comfort of your couch. Because actually going outside is so last century. Plus, there's no risk of actual bears in virtual reality, just pixelated ones that you can turn off when it gets too scary. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy with a microphone and a healthy dose of cynicism. Maybe I'm just getting old and out of touch. Or maybe, just maybe, modern society is as ridiculous as I make it out.